Hello everyone, welcome to the last part of the Understanding Health Insurance series. This video focuses on claims, appeals, and financial assistance that may be available to you. To start, let's go over the claims process. Think of claims like paperwork for your healthcare. They start when your healthcare provider sends a request to your insurance company. Here's how it works. First, your provider sends a claim. So after you visit the doctor, they send a claim to your insurance. Next, your insurance checks it. Your insurance company reviews the claim to see what they'll cover. And that depends on your policy, your deductible and out-of-pocket max that is currently remaining, and the type of service you're receiving. And then afterwards will be the payment or explanation of benefits process. So if everything's okay, your insurance either pays the bill or sends you an EOB explaining what they'll pay for. Sometimes claims get denied, like when information is missing. But don't worry, you can challenge these claims. First, read the remarks and notes on your explanation of benefits to see the explanation for the denial. If you still have questions, call your insurance customer service number to get more details about the denial. It's important to make sure that it is actually a denial. It could be a rejection. There is a difference between the two. For example, the problem may be a rejection of the submission of the claim because information is missing. A simple clerical error or missing document can often be cleared up relatively quickly and easily. However, denials usually fall into two categories. The first being technicalities. So this includes missing codes or authorizations, or claim filing mistakes, etc. And the second is medical. So this is going to be your treatment's not considered a medical necessity according to your insurance, or is considered experimental or for investigation. Most issues will fall into one or more of the following categories. I will be spending some time going more in depth into each of these, but that's going to include processing errors, coverage, and services that aren't appropriate or authorized. So going over the first one, I previously mentioned processing errors. There are two different categories this kind of falls into. So the first one being facility mistakes. For example, let's say the claim is missing or has incorrect information. Medical billing and coding errors are common reasons that claims are rejected or denied. Information may be incorrect, incomplete, or missing. You'll need to check your bill and explanation of benefits very carefully. It is the provider's responsibility to make the correction and get your claim resubmitted right away. But you may need to follow up with them just to make sure it gets done. Also, the claim may have not been filed on time. If your provider or facility is in-network, ask the billing department to provide proof of the submission date. If they didn't submit it on time, you are not responsible for their error, but as before, you may need to follow up until the situation is resolved. Then there are other mistakes that could be made on your part. This can include not responding to any communication attempts made by your insurance. So if you receive any request from your insurance for specific information and do not respond, they may deny the claim. Contact them and talk to them about it. They may allow you to submit the information after the deadline and pay the claim. However, check your policy, as always, because it may include that they can deny a claim if requested information is not received by the date requested. Also, your policy can be canceled for lack of premium payments. If you've missed a couple payments, call or write to your insurance with a detailed explanation of the reasons. Explain to them what happened and they may be able to work with you. Other reasons as to why your claim may have been denied or rejected could be related to coverage. So, for example, your deductible has not been met. So you'll need to meet your deductible before certain services will be paid, unless they are considered a preventive health benefit, or if your insurance covers certain services before the deductible is met. Your provider could be out of network. Depending on your plan type, your insurance may pay something towards the claim. For HMOs, as I've mentioned in previous videos, you may not have coverage for out-of-network providers. For PPO plans, your insurance may cover some of the services provided from an out-of-network provider, but you will most likely have to pay more money. There are a few instances where you can state a specific case as to why you need to see or have already seen an out-of-network provider. So for example, there may only be a specific type of doctor you need to see that is only out-of-network. You will need to make a case why you need to see them so your insurance will possibly work with you. Emergency situations are also where out-of-network providers and facilities may be covered. One thing to take note is that not all providers for a specific service may be in network. So, for example, if you need surgery and have a care team for that surgery, check to make sure all the providers are in network. Sometimes facilities will use third-party providers for anesthesiologists, radiologists, etc., and not being eligible for the benefit that is requested could be another reason as to why it was denied or rejected. All plans have certain services and procedures that are excluded. So this could include like cosmetic surgery, acupuncture, things like that that aren't as commonly used in standard medical practices. Usually your policy will include a section of services that are most likely not covered. Ask for more details of the service you received is not listed on the services that are considered not covered. Depending on the reasoning, you may be able to appeal the denial. Next, let's say your service was not pre-authorized. So pre-authorization is when a service that's requested by your doctor is not seen as medically necessary by your insurance. So sometimes your provider will not proceed with the service if you don't have pre-authorization. However, your claim might be denied after the fact. So ask your doctor to talk to your insurance why they think the service requested is medically necessary, and then your insurance may accept the claim. Sometimes a medicine your doctor prescribes is not in your plan's covered tiers or is on a specialty tier. If your insurance believes that there is another drug that might work instead that isn't specialty or not in one of the tiers they cover, they may deny it. As always, ask your doctor to talk to them on your behalf about why they think that specific medication is medically necessary. Also, it's important to note that you don't have to pick up a filled prescription from the pharmacy if you don't want to, or if you want to wait to pick it up, if you're waiting for insurance authorization, they can hold it for you. And if the refill dates expire, your doctor can always send another refill. And lastly, another reason could be that your benefit has been exceeded. So this may happen, for example, if you've maxed out on the number of physical therapy or chiropractor visits you were allowed in a calendar year. So let's say you have 40 visits total for physical therapy that you can use, and you're on visit 41, and now you're being charged for the price of going to the physical therapist out of pocket. Make sure to check your policy for the dollar or visit maximum before you go to your appointments. Now that we've covered possible reasons as to why your claim has been denied or rejected, let's move on to how to appeal claims and challenge denials. So you can appeal any denied claim. So for instance, if they denied it because of a coding mistake, you can ask them to reconsider. If your insurance company will not pay your claim or cancels your insurance coverage, you can file an internal appeal. First, ask your insurance company how to file an internal appeal. Follow the instructions that they give you, or you can write a letter to the company. If you write a letter, make sure to include your name, the claim number, health insurance ID number, with your forms that you may send them or your letter. It might be good to include any extra information you want the insurance company to know, like a letter from your doctor, and of course, any information that they ask you to send them as well. So next in that process would be the results of your internal appeal. So they can either be your insurance changes their mind, you have nothing more to do. They'll pay the claim, you don't have to do anything more, your appeal was successful. Let's say your insurance company still says no. If this is the case, you can ask for an external review. If the situation is more urgent, you can ask for an external review at the same time as your internal appeal. An external review is when the Georgia Department of Insurance looks at your claim and decides if the insurance company should pay for it. The Georgia Department of Insurance will make a decision, and the decision will either support the denial, so that means you must pay for the claim, or they will support you, meaning that the company pays the claim. And it's important to note that your insurer is required by law to accept the Georgia Department of Insurance decision, even if it is opposite than what they originally told you. So there are other options as well. You can file a complaint. It is the job of the Georgia Department of Insurance to protect insured Georgians. You can file a complaint with the Department of Insurance if you think your insurer is doing something wrong. You are having a problem with your insurance premium. So, for example, it may have gone up very quickly and you don't know why. Let's say you cannot find a doctor that accepts your insurance. You think your coverage was canceled for no reason. And if you want to file a complaint, you can go to the site that's provided on the screen. There is explicit instructions on what you will need to file the complaint and how to do so on the Office of Commissioner of Insurance and Safety Fire's website. If you were to fill out the online form, here's what will happen afterwards. So the Georgia Department of Insurance will send a copy of your complaint to the insurance company. They will ask for the company to respond to the complaint, and then the company will have to provide documents and details about your complaint to them. Next, the DOI will look at the documents that the insurance company gives them and then decide if the insurer has acted correctly. Then they'll also figure out if your insurance company has broken any laws. And if so, they will make sure the insurance company fixes the issue, and then they will get back to you on what they have decided. Next, I'm going to go over a little bit on medical billing and coding. This is like translating doctor talk into billing talk. When you see a healthcare provider, they write down what they did in codes. Medical coding, which is typically the first part of the process, involves applying the correct codes to health records and claims. As I mentioned in one of the previous videos, this is going to be the ICD-10 diagnoses codes and these CPT codes that are going to be for services or procedures. There's also medical billing. So this is going to be the submitting of claims to your insurance. So why coding matters? So accurate coding ensures you are billed correctly. If your diagnosis is type 2 diabetes, you're going to see it as something like ICD-10 code E11. An example showing kind of the importance of correct medical coding and medical billing is coding in healthcare is similar to translating a book into a different language. It ensures that everyone understands the story, which would be your medical treatment, for example, correctly, whether they speak the language of medicine or finances. Next, I'm going to go over some financial assistance programs that may be available to you depending on whether or not you qualify. Healthcare costs can be a lot, but if you do qualify, there are government programs that can help pay for your healthcare, so Medicaid. There's Peach Care for Kids, which is for children through the age of 19 who don't qualify for Medicaid. There's Medicare, and then there's the healthcare marketplace, which is available through healthcare.gov. That's where you can apply for government-assisted health insurance based on your income and current employment status. You'll also get evaluated for Medicaid and any other major programs that may be available to you through that application. And for more information about government assistant programs, you can go to georgia.gov/assistant programs guide. There is a lot more information on their site that goes into specifics about qualifications and any other information you may need to know. But there's also other options available to you. So some hospitals and organizations offer charity care if you can't afford healthcare. Most hospitals have a financial assistance department of some sort. You call them and you can explain to them your situation and they may help you with your medical bills. And there are a number of charity organizations that are available in the state of Georgia and in Gwinnett County specifically as well. So for more information on the organizations that may be available to you, you can go to our website, which is gwinnettpl.org. Go to our Find It tab. We have a GCPL guide section and a section called Health Resources. Or you can also go to the link on the screen there for more information that will take you directly to the Health Resources guide. This is the end of the Understanding Health Insurance series. If you missed parts 1 through 3, they are available on the YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and supporting the Gwinnett County Public Library.